today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my winter base essentials because baby, it is getting cold outside. Now I am speaking through the lens of somebody who does have dry skin. I experience crackly painfulness in the winter in my skin if I don't take care of it. So these are the essentials to keep it at bay, to take control of what I have control of for dry skin. That being said, I think no matter the skin type that you have, I hope this video can be helpful even to those of you with oily skin, because our skin does change in the winter, and I do think I have some really fantastic tips here for winter skin maintenance and products that are going to work well with dryness in the winter. As somebody who has lived in Miami the last few winters, I am back up north for my first full winter. I am already starting to feel the effects of that, and I am prepped and ready. I'm going to be using and wearing these products to try and combat as much dryness as possible. I have a mixture of skincare and makeup products in here, and I'm not really a big skincare channel, but it's true, like when it comes to winter makeup, skincare in a lot of cases is more important than the makeup in the winter, because the beauty of winter makeup that I just love about winter is you can wear whatever you want. Your makeup can be as thick and creamy as you would like, or it can be as matte as you would like, because it is going to last all day. There's not any factors that are going to melt your makeup, rain down on your makeup, anything like that. So anything really goes for winter makeup, but a lot of these products I'm specifically targeting towards like a bad skin day, a dry skin day. Because like I said, I'll go full beat, full matte, long wear, full coverage in the winter because I can, but I also can go full cream, super thick as I want in the winter because I can, and nothing's gonna melt it off. So let's start off with skin prep. I'll do a timestamp for you if you're not interested in one or the other. This is the time of year that I think it's most important to have some sort of hydrating toner or milky toner. I have two that I recommend. I'm gonna try and move through this really quickly. The one that I've been using for the longest has been the Fenty Skin Fat Water. It's a hydrating milky toner essence. I've used this the last couple of years, have been through a couple tubes of this. This is amazing. It's nice and thick and hydrating. And then the one that I'm currently using is the Tear Milk Skin Toner. I would say the Fenty's maybe a little bit thicker, but both are nice and hydrating, and I think just do a good job maintaining the hydration of my skin, but also it soothes the skin when the skin might be feeling a little bit troubled from the dry winter weather. I think I'm gonna use my Tear today. It's just what I've been using, but you can see it's like a thick water. I'm just gonna pat that into my skin, and then also take a look at all the different toners on the market. They have things that do other things to your skin as well, but I like at base any sort of hydrating, milky, as they call it, toner. It kind of seals in the moisture of the skin as well. It helps protect the skin's barrier. Now, moisturizer, of course, is super important. I'm really picky because moisturizers will make me break out. Like, I have a couple here because I used some that are very, very popular, but these make me break out. They're just very, very thick. So I have a couple of thick options for you that don't make me break out. I'm not saying they won't make you break out, but I'm pretty sensitive, so I'm a good test of that. Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, you cannot go wrong with. It's great for sensitive skin. There's no fragrance to it whatsoever. It soaks in quickly, but I do find it to be deeply hydrating. Kiehl's in general is a brand that my skin loves, and sometimes it just happens in the winter where your skin might get a little bit flaky or painful in some places. If that is you, I highly recommend the overnight rehydrating mask from Kiehl's. So this one is like super duper thick, but it is extremely like viciously hydrating. So at night, if I have a spot that's hurting, I don't put this all over my face, but if there's a specific spot, it's almost like a balm consistency, and I'll put it over the area, and it feels so much better in the morning. So this is like an emergency skincare tip for you guys. But everyday moisturizer, this is my favorite. And then another couple good ones that are deeply hydrating is the Tear Ceramic Cream. So the light one I use for daytime, and then at night I use just the original. This one is a little bit thicker in consistency. You can see I have made a very good dent in this. Another one, very hydrating, no fragrance, doesn't make me break out. I think for today, I'm just going to use the Ceramic Cream Light, and all of this is so important in prep before makeup. I mean, you should be doing this every morning and evening as well, but make sure you do this before your makeup or it will show, especially with that drying weather that there is in the winter. And give each product about a minute to soak in to the skin before you apply the next. Even bring it over the lips here. While that's soaking in, I think eye cream can also be important. I have had some areas of my eyes that have gotten dry. It's not a major issue of mine, but it's happened. So I do like to use an eye cream. Not every single day, I'll be honest here, but if you do notice you're experiencing a lot of dryness with the skin. Lately, I've been using the Tier Collagen Lifting Eye Cream because this one has a ball for application, so it's very, very cooling on the under eyes to help wake you up. And this one is lighter weight, so I do recommend this one for before makeup use, but then at night or for something a little bit thicker if I'm going to give it plenty of time to soak in. I've also been using the It Cosmetics Confidence in an eye cream. Yeah, we've kind of hit pan, I guess, right, on this. So this one is also very deeply hydrating, especially in the evenings if you're not going to put anything on your eyelid. You get the eyelid because that can get dry as well, and in here, all around. Even though I'm a makeup person and I'm not as interested in skincare, I know how important skincare is in the winter so that my makeup can look as good as possible. And yes, you can use eye cream on the lips as well. And you make sure you take the eye cream all the way to the outside of the lips because that's where my lips start to get dry. And then the last bit of skincare, something that's going to maintain your skin throughout the day and that you can use to pump some hydration even after you have makeup on. You need a good creamy mist, serumy mist situation. I would recommend this before makeup, the Laneige Cream Skin Mist. This is pretty much like a milky skin toner in a spray form. Throughout the day, if I notice my skin is feeling dry, I will spray my skin with this and it just brings my skin back to life and gives an extra quick shot of hydration. I just added in my monthly favorites. Pixi has one that's a little bit lighter weight than this one, but this one is definitely winter approved. It's a little bit thicker. And then for before and after makeup, something that's also going to make the makeup glowy if you're looking a little thirsty, the Dabba First Spray Serum is incredible for giving the skin a little bit of extra glow. Shake it up to mix together the serum and the actual spray. But this is gonna make the skin so much more glowy. I hate to spray it on my face after doing my skincare, but I just want to show you. And I like this one because you can do it before and after makeup. It's a great makeup refresher as well to give a glowy look. Okay, did I work through the skincare fast enough? Because I'm really excited to get into the makeup products and also get some makeup on this face. So we're just gonna let everything kind of soak in. Okay, primer is probably not as important if you've just freshly done your skincare like I have, but if there's some time in between your skincare and your actual makeup prep, I would recommend a primer, and these are ones I would highly recommend looking into. Do I want to put any down? My skin is like so fresh with skincare, I really don't need to, but I will, just for example. So what I look for in the winter is kind of like a skincare and makeup primer hybrid, and I have three that I think work great for that. The first one, this is technically a skincare product, but it's just so lightweight and perfect before makeup. The MAC Hyper Real Serumizer. It's a hydration serum, and it's just so lightweight before makeup. I know that the MAC makeup artists, they recommend this for before makeup as well. If you want something that's not going to add any additional color or any like sparkly, glimmery, shimmery, metallic glow to the skin, you just want something before makeup for an extra shot of hydration, I would recommend something like this. Now, if you want a little bit of color, something that's gonna be a true makeup and skincare hybrid, this is so pricey, but I swear, for me, it's been worth every penny. The Chantecaille Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint. Now, this is especially expensive, but I really think Chantecaille is a master at their craft of skincare, and this gives a sheer glow, like a rosy tint to the face, but it also has the feel of a luxurious moisturizer. Like it feels like it's, and it is, directly from their skincare line with a little bit of that makeup aspect because it gives just the prettiest sheer glow to the skin. My skin is going to be really heavy today from all the hydration I'm adding, but see that? It's very subtle, but so gorgeous. And it works really well for my sensitive skin also. Now, if your skin is feeling extra dehydrated and you want an extra glowy base, I recommend looking into the Glossier Future Glue Oil Serum Hybrid. Now, this is thick. Less is more with this, unless you really want to get the skin saturated here with a lot of like an oily, thick serum. What I think this product is great for as well is if you're using a fuller coverage foundation, mix this in with that and it will thin it out a little bit and leave the foundation feeling more hydrating as well. So if you're using, say, like an Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is thicker, it's more matte, but you just don't think your skin can handle that, either literally mixing this in with your foundation or applying the foundation immediately after applying this to kind of blend in with this is going to make the foundation much more tolerable for dry skin. And this one adds more of like a glass-like glow to the skin. So these three, for different reasons, are trusty base products before makeup. Now, in terms of coverage all over the face, at this point, if my skin is okay and I really prepped it with such hydrating products, I can go in with something thicker, more full coverage, more matte. But if we really want to continue this journey of truly aiding the skin, like dry, parched skin in need, here's what I recommend color product wise. Now, this, I don't care who you are, I think that this product should be in everybody's makeup routine in the winter when your skin needs it. So sometimes those matte full coverage foundations can be a little much on the skin. This product, you're going to mix this with that product and it's going to completely winterify your foundation for you. It's the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. This is slightly tinted. It doesn't really do too much on my face. To be honest, I don't even really like this on its own. I feel like I look sweaty whenever I wear it. But the way that this mixes with foundations instantly makes it a little bit thinner, a lot more hydrating, a little bit more glowy, so much less dry looking on the skin. So this product alone allows you to wear all of your favorite foundations that might be too thick and drying in the winter. This will, like as I said, winterify it for you, and you can still use that foundation even if you have dry skin. So definitely give this a try. Get a sample at Sephora if possible. Mix it with your favorite foundation, and I hope that you'll see the difference that this makes with the foundations. The one thing I will say about Ilia is I do recommend replacing it every single year if you can, because this I find it goes bad quickly. Just FYI. Okay, so let's do the color-based products, start evening everything out here. Now, tinted moisturizers are often associated as a summer product because you want something lightweight that's not going to melt off. But let me tell you something. Tinted moisturizers I like even better in the winter time because I find that they are so much less likely to attach themselves to dry patches and just to aid the skin in hydration as the day is going on, as opposed to sucking away the life of your skin. That being said, not all tinted moisturizers are created equal. I am going to do a whole like dry skin foundation video for 2024 very soon, but you're definitely going to get a sneak peek at some of my winter favorites. So for extremely dry skin days, something that I need to throw on in just a few minutes and even everything out that I know is not going to make any dry patches show, I have two tinted moisturizers that are my go-to. This one is more pricey, but this is the second time I'm mentioning Chantecaille, and if I didn't feel bad about the price point of these, I would have definitely recommended even more. But Chantecaille's products are unreal for dry skin. Like, they will work for oily skin too. They're not just for dry skin. But I'm just saying, even the driest of dry skin, Chantecaille is going to help out. So I've been using so far already so many times the Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. And then also something of a similar consistency and a less pricey price point here. I also really love the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Danessa gives a little bit more coverage than the Chantecaille, but both of these do a great job at overall just evening the skin out. And then you can go in with a concealer afterwards afterwards to really get extra coverage. But for the most part, in terms of covering the most surface area, these are not going to emphasize any dryness or stick to them at all. It's going to keep your skin looking bouncy and youthful throughout the day. Ooh, I did want to actually put on today my favorite find of 2024 that I just feel like nobody talked about really, but it's amazing. It's from Sigma. It's their Skin Perfector. They call this a hydrating tint, but honestly, this gives like a medium coverage. Lighter side of medium for sure, but this to me is a gorgeous foundation, and I think it's perfect for the winter because it gives a little bit more coverage than say the skin tints that I just mentioned, but it also is keeping that very thin layer that's not going to be attracted to those dry patches. So I'm just gonna spread it across my face. Every time I wear this product, I just feel like my skin looks so fresh the entire day, and I barely put any on, so the coverage is a little bit lighter. But I just feel like I put on so much skincare that I don't want to make my makeup or skin feel really heavy today. Focus the product, of course, on the areas that you have the most discoloration, which for me is the cheeks, and for a lot of people, under the nose, on the nose. I mean, the ultimate tip for dry skin specifically in the winter time is thinner layers, lighter makeup is better. It tends to emphasize dryness the least. It also gives least thick layers of product to accumulate in a certain area because there's just a thinner layer. But look how good this looks, and I can build this up to get a little bit more coverage, but this is like put together but also gonna look fresh all day. I think that this is gorgeous. And then if you're looking for something that gives you just a little bit more coverage than that, or in some cases a lot more, these are deeply hydrating as well. We have the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch. Water Fresh is really the best way to describe this product, and it's going to give you more hydration. It's going to give you more coverage. Love, love, love this. Obviously, it's very pricey, but foundation is definitely a category I can justify because it's going all over your face. And if your skin doesn't look good, a lot of times the makeup doesn't look good. The skin is kind of the part that the eye sees the most, so it's so important that you have a good product for that. Love this. And like I said, I do have a dry skin foundation video coming up, so I'm not doing all the demos and stuff like that yet. And then this is also a really good newer product. It's a stick foundation if you want something quick. The LYS Beauty Foundation Stick. Super smooth on the skin and it's super creamy. LYS is known for their creamy formulations that just melt like butter into the skin. This is really great. My gosh, you guys, my skin right now looks so fresh with all of these skincare products and makeup products that I put on. Now for concealer, I'm actually going to put a link in the description box. I just did the best concealers for dry, wrinkly under eyes, and over there you'll see a ton of really great concealer recommendations which would fit the purpose of today's video. So I don't want to be too repetitive here, but I did want to apply the star of the show for that video, the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. This is like velvet on the skin. It's very hydrating, and I picked this one specifically for this video because it's also going to counteract the lighter coverage options that I gave you for the base. So my tip is concealer is going to be your best friend in the winter. You don't want to put it all over, but definitely supplement where you didn't get a lot of coverage from your base products with a concealer like this, because this also isn't going to attach to any dry spots. There's something about spot concealing or using a really thin layer of concealer that just feels and looks lighter on the skin, which is counterintuitive because typically concealers do have more coverage, but if you really only use it on areas you need it, it looks extremely minimal. And it also is just so much more flexible than putting something fuller coverage all over the face. So I do have a lot of options in that video that I just mentioned based on your needs. But I do think that the finish with this Natasha Denona is just so special. And so I'm just going to focus this mostly on the under eyes to start, and right at the bridge of my nose here, where I have some discoloration. And then whatever's left on my brush, I kind of just sweep over my cheeks to hide the redness, but feel free to put a dot or two where you need a little extra coverage, and it's still gonna feel so lightweight. Like, yes, this concealer gives full coverage, but it does not look super makeup-y. Now, remember how I said in the winter you can have as thick and creamy makeup as you want, and you don't have to worry about it melting off? Well, that's why I recommend on drier skin days, go with cream bronzers and cream blushes. Now, what I do recommend so that my face doesn't feel too sticky is to shoot for, especially if you have oily skin, cream products that have almost a powder dry down. You don't want one that stays too sticky throughout the day unless you do plan to specifically set it. But as somebody with a lot of crazy baby hairs and regrowth constantly, because my pattern, I have a lot of hair fall out but also have a lot of hair growing in, I always have flyaways that tend to stick to my face, so I don't like it too sticky in general. A really good bronzer, which I have in 3 different colors here, I'm going to use light today, is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. This is a drier formulation. It has some body to it, and it also has really good longevity for those of you with oily skin. So I'm just going to get some directly on my brush and pat this down. I prefer a cream that has either like a dry down or just isn't super creamy or sticky, because it doesn't really need set as much. So you can retain the moisture on the outskirts of the face, which is why I like something like this for the winter time. And don't get me wrong, I'll use the squishiest, creamiest, thickest product on my skin in the winter too, but I do have to make an extra effort of setting it. And if your skin is like really down bad and not good, I recommend like something that's going to dry down a little bit but is still creamy and doesn't need that powder, so you can retain as much moisture as possible in the skin. Another good one, nude sticks. The mattes are super powdery feeling once they dry down. So they also have a bronzer that's been one of my favorites for years. That's a good one. I'm going to use their blushes today. I have the Nude Sticks Nudies Matte in the shade Sunkissed, classic one. Just a reliable formula that's not going to look too oily on my skin, considering how much oils and creaminess I have on my skin right now. I don't want to look too shiny here, so this is not going to give me that. Great for oily skin as well, if you still want to utilize cream products, because oily skin can still have dry patches, you know, so you still might want to use some hydrating products. But Nude Sticks is one of my favorite dry down blushes here. Beautiful. Now, up to this point, you've worked so hard to keep your skin looking hydrating, to avoid products attaching themselves to those dry patches. But you also have all of this product on your face. You want to set it. You want something to soak up those extra oils here. So I picked 2 setting powders that set, but they don't suck away, you know? I think it's very important to have these allow over time for the natural glow to still come through. This first one is from Hourglass. It's the Veil Translucent Setting Powders. One of my most recommended for powders that are going to still allow the glow to shine through. Maybe not right away, but as you wear the product, the glow is going to shine through. Now, depending on your skin's needs, determines how much powder you have to use and where you have to use it. Now for me, I just like a pretty light set in the T-zone. Sometimes if my creams are a little too thick feeling, I'll go over those areas, but typically just to tamper down that extra glow and to ensure that my makeup's gonna last a long time. Another really good one is from Pat McGrath. It's the Sublime Perfection Skin Fetish Powder. Just a super lightweight powder. You don't even notice it really on the skin, but it is going to set everything in place. Again, if you're oily, I definitely would recommend more of like a baking or pressing in kind of situation. But this video is to aid, you know, those winter essentials for the base. A light powder like this with an application like this, for me, is ideal. And even with the powder, my skin looks really hydrated. It doesn't look thirsty at all. But let's say you're like, it's not looking great. At this point, it would be great to set with a little bit of the Dauba First Spray Serum just to lock everything in and bring that moisture and glow back. Kind of let that dry down. But you know what? Sometimes you do need a powder situation in the winter. I like to use powders in the winter too. I think they're quicker, and I think they also hold their own in the kind of look that they can give on the skin. You want lightweight powders, that's for sure, and ones that feel pretty creamy. Being a dead horse with this, of course, but it's true that the Hourglass Ambient powders are going to aid all your problems. Sometimes you just get that extra bit of personalization to your look. It's more custom. I feel like it can be easier to customize the look or detail a look more with the powder. And I like these Hourglass powders because they're so lightweight on the skin. They're almost like a filter here with their finish, but they are not flat. They're also not too glowy to where they emphasize, you know, those fine lines or dry patches that I keep talking about. It's just like a pop of color on the skin that still smooths over everything. So for dry skin, these are a good powder option. They're a baked formulation, which is just nicer on drier skin. I'm gonna use a little bit of this. This is the Evil Eye palette that just came out a couple months ago. I'm gonna use this to add a little bit of glow. And I like to use a fluffy brush like this, something that's not too dense, so it's not gonna disrupt the work that we've put underneath, because I've been really selective with my techniques and the products that I put on. You want to use a very soft brush just to veil that color over the skin, but not disrupt it. I don't know what this is called, but it's from Rare Beauty. But I've been able to customize that color, add a little bit of selective glow with the powder without it being too thick or heavy or drying over the skin. I also really like, what is this? It's a finishing powder. Sometimes just to kind of smooth over everything and make it more natural. Anyways, I don't want to apply too much powder, but if there is a reliable powder even on dry skin, it's from Hourglass. And lastly, for our winter base essentials, I'm going to talk about the product that saved my lips when I visited my parents last winter. Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I was finding that my skin was, well, my lips were really reacting to the shock of the cold winter weather here. And I put this on before I walked into Costco, walked out, and my lips were healed. It's pretty insane. My lips are very sensitive to winter. I've already started feeling like what feels like rash burn on my lips. So I've been really heavily applying this, and it gives a pretty glow. And I find that with the consistency of this, it lasts such a long time on the lips. So it can really do that work of hydration, and my lips always feel so much better by the time that this wears off. So these Summer Fridays I find to be really, really important for my winter base routine. After everything is settled down, I mean, my skin right now, it looks unreal. Well, it looks really real, is what I'm trying to say, you know? Like, it just looks so healthy and not a dry patch in sight. And I think what's amazing about all of these products is they're going to work throughout the day. You know, my makeup, my skin is going to be continued to be hydrated as the day goes on because of the extra care and thought that went into the products that I used. So all of these are items that are definitely essentials for me in the winter, just to keep my skin up to par and looking good even when it isn't really looking good for the day. If you have any winter skin essentials, products that you have to use on your complexion or come in and save the day during the winter, make sure you comment them down below. Make sure everybody that you're reading through the comments and sharing your own thoughts, because I gave you what I know and what I've worked with, but so many of you guys have such amazing tips when it comes to the skin. And with that being said, I will have all of the products that I talked about linked in the description box down below. All of these are products that I stand by and highly, highly recommend, and I hope that you love them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you tomorrow? Question mark? Hopefully. Hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas. I'll see you guys later.
It's delicious.